So, Gayle King versus Snoop Dogg. And I am stunned that this has kind of evolved into what it's evolved into. To the point where you had this morning when I woke up, hashtag I stand with Gayle. Which, what does that even mean? Standing with Gayle. What are you standing with Gayle with? Like, for what? And, you know, the internet just makes things funny and it creates like these little teams and, you know, extreme opinions. And social media, especially Twitter, is designed for the most extreme opinion to be out there, right? So I kind of wanted to just give my thoughts on the entire situation where you have Gayle King asking Lisa Leslie about Kobe Bryant's legacy. Is it complicated for her to think fondly of it, knowing that he had a sexual assault case, you know, under his belt? Lisa handled the question as best as you can. Then you have Snoop Dogg making a video where he's talking about Gayle King and he calls her, I think, a bitch or something like that. And then it gets to the masses, and now people are making videos. They're saying, I stand with Gayle, I stand with Snoop. And I don't think this situation is being discussed properly, right? Because I was uncomfortable with the question that Gayle asked Lisa Leslie. Because, one, Kobe Bryant was alive for a while after his case. You know, there's not the situation where Kobe Bryant has this case and he died a week after or 2 weeks after. No. This has been a thing for a while now. So he retired from the NBA. He went on to begin doing various projects. He won an Oscar for a short film that he produced. I think it was called Dear Basketball. And so for this to be brought up after all of this time where these various news people had ample opportunity to ask Kobe Bryant about this sexual assault case if they wanted to, it's bizarre to me. Now I get what you're saying. Well, come on now, Kenon. Like, you know, by that time it left the public consciousness. You know, like nobody's out there asking Mike Tyson about his rape case, and I get that. But that's just one point that I want to bring up. Another point I wanted to bring up is that I don't necessarily agree with the belief or the line of thinking that states that if somebody passes away, you are obligated to not say anything negative about them until further notice. Because number one, no one has a specific time that they can give you. Okay, when is it a good time to bring up this foul thing, these foul things that this person done? So I don't subscribe to that line of thinking. But I do believe that, dude, the day that Kobe Bryant died, you had articles and editors from there was one woman from the Washington Post who was talking about how don't forget that Kobe Bryant, yes, Kobe Bryant died, it's tragic, but don't forget that he had a sexual assault case under his belt. And I'm like, really? Kobe Bryant, his daughter, 7 other people died, and that's the lane that you're driving on? But I think that is foul. It feels foul to me. And it probably feels foul to me because I don't believe Kobe Bryant raped anybody, and everybody's opinions change when their person is one under the gun. So I get that. But here's the thing with Gayle. I think if you are analyzing the Gayle and Snoop conversation, number one line of thinking is, hey, Snoop, that was an unproportional response to Gayle King, right? Now that said, I believe that it's unproportional because I don't believe it is necessary to call someone a bitch or to make fun of their physical appearance or anything just because they said something that you disagree with. That said, this is kind of like Snoop's thing, right? And I remember specifically Snoop, having similar videos about Kanye West, using similar language about Kanye West during the whole Kanye West, Trump thing and slavery was a choice. That whole time period, Snoop was making videos like this, and people didn't have a problem with it, right? And so if you didn't have a problem when Snoop was doing that back then, and you have a problem with Snoop doing it now, that means that the reason that you have a problem with it is because you believe that men shouldn't talk about or to women in that fashion, which then kind of makes you sexist, right? Because it's a belief that because someone is a woman, that they somehow, we need to keep them extra safe and protect them from the vicious words of men. And that's not what I'm coming from with that, right? So if you are one of the men who share that opinion, I'm not with you, because that's just sexism, right? It's because you believe that women, they need protecting from, and, men don't. No, I'm coming from the perspective of, I think it's just bad dialogue once you start cursing and using profanity, and less people are sympathetic to your point of view or your plight when you speak about people in those ways, right? So that's what I'm coming from, where I say that Snoop, his delivery was off, right? But Gayle, Look, CBS, Gayle King, they did this on purpose, right? If you remember, they did the exact same thing with the R. Kelly interview. And this is not me saying that R. Kelly or Kobe Bryant are comparable. They are not comparable. This is also not me saying that R. Kelly is a good person. This is what we have to remember: nuance in conversations. Nuance. This is a very nuanced opinion I'm about to give you. So listen up. If you remember during the R. Kelly stuff, CBS kind of like leaked these images at first, right? And short clips with Gayle King and R. Kelly that made R. Kelly look crazy. Like the first thing I saw from that interview was R. Kelly. He was standing up and he had like his right hand almost like he was about to slap Gayle, and Gayle was like sitting down, just looking straight at him, right? And it made R. Kelly look crazy. And they leaked these couple of images, still images, and short clips because they wanted people to go in and click on the entire interview and watch and listen to the entire interview. And if you had just listened to the entire interview and watched it from off rip, R. Kelly don't sound crazy. I mean, he's guilty of sin as far as, sleeping with teenage girls, but he don't look like insane, like he has screws loose to me, right? But CBS did that for traffic. So they thought they were going to do the exact same thing with the Kobe Bryant stuff. The problem was they did not expect the backlash that they got. And so now you have Oprah out there, saying that Gayle is not doing well. She's receiving death threats. You got Gayle King going to, doing interviews now. You have Al Sharpton on MSNBC saying that he stands with Gayle King, and all of this craziness. So I don't feel bad for Gayle King. She's an adult. If you can play in the mud, then you gotta be ready to accept, when you get dirty. But the last thing that I want to say on this is that there's a third layer to this that no one is talking about. And eventually people are going to have to talk about it because as, I think we're kind of in a post-Me Too movement or nearing the post-Me Too movement, right? Where you have men like R. Kelly, you have men like Bill Cosby, who I think is going to die soon, right? Might be this year, might be next year, might be the year after that, right? That he'll die. And there's a question that people have to answer, which is, if you don't believe that Kobe Bryant, sexually assaulted anybody, then there is no complication to his legacy, right? That's one layer. You have the second layer, which is someone commits a crime or is accused of a crime like that, but it's so long ago that their legacy isn't tainted in your mind because it's just the distance that you have from the actual incident. And then there's the third layer, which we have to get to, which is, let's say you have a character who is accused of a crime. By all evidence, or by all of the available evidence, you believe that they are guilty of said crime. They pass away. Do we have to measure people by the worst thing they've ever done, right? So I'm not talking about ambiguity here. I'm talking about guilty of sin. This person committed the crime, and that's why I said Bill Cosby will kind of show us how we choose to navigate these things, because from all accounts, Bill Cosby was out there sexually assaulting and sexually raping women. He's also done a lot of phenomenal things for the African American community, philanthropy, stand-up comedy, etc. How do people speak about Bill Cosby once he passes away with those two things hanging in the balance? How do you speak about a flawed hero, right? Or, back when the Judge Kavanaugh things were happening, my opinion was, let's say Judge Kavanaugh did do the things that he's been accused of, which is a sexual assault or an attempted rape, depending on how you view the accusations. Let's say if he did everything as described, is that automatically disqualifying from your job as a judge today? Do we not allow people to grow? Do we not allow people to change? Do we not allow people to evolve? And those type of conversations are the ones that we have to start having, especially for people like myself, liberals, as they call themselves, progressives, who are constantly out there talking about we need prison reform and we need to have change our prison systems and have a culture that is more redemptive, where we give people a second chance. Well, how can you do that if we never have conversations about discussing, remembering people that universally we agree they have a checkered past, right? And I think that that's something that does need to, start to happen. I don't think that that's the case with Kobe Bryant, because I don't think he committed this crime. But even if you are someone that does believe, yeah, you know what, I believe he did it, right? Does it mean that he can't be remembered fondly? I think that's the proper conversation to be had around this Gayle King Snoop Dogg thing. Everyone needs to take a chill pill, take a step back. Yeah, that's kind of what I have to say.